In today's episode, we're finally beginning modifications on my 1995 Nissan GQ Patrol. We've got a stack of things to go on it. We're doing a full strip down, rebuild everything in the interior from the ground up, plus some external mods as well. And like what often seems to happen when you're modifying a car, things don't go to plan and we find some pretty bad rust in there. Proudly supported by Outback Equipment, Tread, Superior Engineering, and in part by. Now all these modifications and work were done a few weeks back at One Stop 4x4 shop in Sydney with Aiden and a few of the boys there that work for him. But I'm just going to sit down, overlay some footage and run through everything we did. I was pretty stoked of how it all came out. So Aiden, put you on the spot on the camera. So obviously you're just like a one-stop 4x4 custom builds and restorations, as your sign says.
Yeah, so we just do custom builds, restorations. We do 12 volt and fit outs, suspension fit outs.
So old heaps of junk like this, you make them nicer.
Yes, nice and fresh.
I've only been here 10 minutes and already the seats are out and everything's disappearing quick. We're straight into it. I'm always a little bit nervous stripping down an old car. It's not all rusted away in there underneath, but... The first step of the process was to just completely strip that interior out. So seats, carpet, center console, door trims, all of it gone, and then see what you're looking at underneath once you're back to the bare bones of the body of the car there. When you see that mess that's under, like the center console and stuff, feel better that we're pulling it all out and fixing it and putting nice stuff back in. It's a mess.
If you pry off from here, which is nowhere near here or here, the likely chance that you're going to end up snapping something or breaking it. If you're pushing here, that you're likely it's just going to click out. It needs a solid vacuum.
Yeah, that's all the carpet nearly out. Just got to do the back bit up there. That bolt there up the back does not want to come out. So obviously when you get stuck bolts on old cars, what's your go-to thing to get them out?
What you're best off doing is cutting across one of the lines the whole way with an angle grinder and just getting a flat head so you can get more meat of the screwdriver on there and then just turn it out.
There's like a million ways you can do it.
That one works, but
that one's a good one.
That's all the carpet out. And what's the next step now? Clean it up.
Yeah, so we'll come in with a vacuum and give it a good vacuum and then wipe it down, we'll wax and grease it and get it prepped up for the sound deadening.
After we'd stripped the car out, cleaned it all up, this is where we discovered that pretty bad rust patch at the driver's feet in the floor pan there. What had actually happened is I'd seen it when I bought the car. You could see it coming through the floor from underneath when you were looking up, when I was having a good look under the car. And I got a mate to cut a little patch out there that we figured which was the rust patch, and we sealed that, fixed that back up. It was still sort of a fair bit of rust around it. We figured, oh, it's just surface rust. We're stripping it all out soon anyway, so we'll clean it right back. But once we started to clean it back and scour up all the surface, we could see that it wasn't just surface rust, and it really sort of fatigued and destroyed that metal through that whole area there. And you only had to give it a few little taps with the screwdriver and it just started busting out everywhere.
If I did that, I think that would make a hole. You feel that it's already coming. I'll tell you, that's already coming through as a hole.
Joys of dealing with old cars.
Yeah.
It's never straightforward.
No, it is not. Surprises.
So we figured we can't just leave it like that. We're gonna have to spend a bit of time here fixing it all up. It's not as complicated as I thought, rust repairs, especially when it's a flat surface like that. It's really just about cutting out all that area so you isolate it, cutting another piece of metal to the same size, welding that in, and then sealing it all up, rust proofing it, painting it, so it's, you know, ready for the future and not going to rust away again. That's that patch of rust grinded out there, and there it is. New piece ready to get welded in. You got it all matched up there nicely.
Just about. I've just got to trim back a bit up here, weld it in, and the welding takes a bit of time because it's welding thin sheet metal's a bit difficult. You just got to kind of take away at it.
So that's just a final sealant to stop anything getting up in there.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the rust repair done for the moment, just got to let it dry overnight. And I've also since worked out why that floor pan is rusted, because when it's pouring down rain and you're driving, it actually leaks in through the top of the window here, so that's going to have to be a future job to stop that leak. Apparently it's just a GQ thing. I've had a few other mates who said, oh yeah, their GQ does the same thing. Tim's does as well. He said, oh yeah, mine does that, just enjoy it, it cools you down on the hot days. Quickly interrupt the video for a second to let you know that Outback Equipment are doing the same deal this month as what they did last month. Outback Equipment support the channel, and what I do, they offer a huge range of four-wheel driving, camping, adventure, fishing, boating, all the gear you can name. They've got it, so I'll pop the discount code up on the screen. So if you're interested in purchasing anything off them, in need of any equipment at all, then make sure to use it, supports the channel and what I do. We're going to start the sound deadening now, so basically start the rebuild of the car now it's all stripped back and cleaned up. What's the sound deadening that you use?
Deadener, this is from one of my suppliers. Checked with the thickness, this is a true 3mm thick. What sound deadening is actually made up of is like that layer of like metal, like a foil, and then butanol, yeah, I believe is what it's called, with like an adhesive on the bottom. The idea is when you put it down, it's stopping the vibration across that's happening in the cab.
And so the main reason behind sound deadening, like I know a lot of people do it. It's more so on older vehicles, because your modern vehicles are pretty quiet in the cab. Yeah. But older vehicles are quite noisy. Like this thing sounds like a tractor when you drive it. Yeah. So it's mainly just noise reducing inside the car and insulation, I guess, are the main couple of things. Pretty much. And because I'm doing vinyl flooring, the sound deadening is sort of a bit more important with that, I guess, because carpet kind of sound deadens a bit. Yeah. So if you're just going vinyl on metal, it's going to be pretty horrible in there. That's right. So that'll balance it out a bit. That's right. So that's before it goes in. Yeah. And then we'll test it once it's on the knockometer. Knockometer. See if we can notice the difference. That's the sound deadening, all pretty much done throughout the car, other than this patch there. We're just waiting on that to dry. And now we're going to start fitting the vinyl flooring. So that's the front half, and then they've got the back half over there now, just having a bit of a look at. So the reason I've gone vinyl, because Aidan was saying he normally does carpet and he was suggesting I do carpet, but the reason I've gone vinyl is simply because of the fact that I wanted this car to be a little bit bush proof. in regards to getting water and mud in there. I want to be able to, you know, go through that deeper water or mud holes and stuff and not have it come in and then wreck the carpet, have to pull it all out, dry it all out, clean it. It's just a nightmare. So that way, vinyl flooring, it's much easier to like hose out or wipe out or whatever. So you gotta cut it all out where all the holes go and stuff like that. How's it get attached to the ground? Does it just kind of get bolted in with the seats and stuff?
Yeah, and the scuff plates and all of that.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Back again the next morning. Ended up pausing the build last night because it was getting up to about dinner time, so we're still in the process of putting in that vinyl flooring there. So we're going to finish putting that off, the front bit in. That rust repair's dried up now, so we'll be able to finish that off too. And then Rick has turned up today. He's going to help. You're the electrical wiring guru.
Basically got a pair of 6.5 inch to go in the back, a pair to go in the doors in the factory position, and then we're going to replace the head unit as well. So they're a decent quality for, like, I guess you'd call them a good value speaker.
Yeah, I didn't want to go anything too expensive.
No, not especially not in a rig that you're gonna really beat on.
Yeah.
You know, they sound quite good for their price, which is a personal favourite of mine.
So that's a 2-in-1 unit, sub and amp.
That's it, yeah.
And then we got the head unit to go with it as well. Apple CarPlay, Spotify, Bluetooth, like Google Maps. That's all I really use it for.
Exactly. So and this will do that just fine. And this has got enough grunt to power those speakers well. Yeah. Plus it's got the line level outputs to drive our subs.
And then we have this table, rear door table. So I have one in my GU, not this same brand, but a different one. They're so handy and helpful, just like a fold down table at the rear there. So I've got one for the GQ as well. Different one, this one's from Patrol Australia. They're going to unbox that, and that's going to go on these back doors too. We're going to sort of get that organised now because we've got to put the speakers in behind it. So the GQs have 2 speakers on the back door and then 2 speakers down on the front doors. The rear doors don't have any. So that's going to be the infill plate to match it on that door. And then this is obviously the actual table itself. So now we got the door trim off and cleaned up. Just gonna work out how this table fits. Sort of have a bit of a look at that. Then obviously we're gonna have to put the speaker in first and the table over the top.
That's it. So the good thing about this kit is they provide nutserts or rig nuts that literally go into the factory holes, and because they don't hate everybody, they supply a size that literally fits into the factory position, so there's no drilling involved.
Hayden started down here on the front doors, so pulling these front door trims off so we can do the speakers on them too. Plus we are putting new door trims on, painted up the floor there. All the doors are all apart now. Car's looking pretty empty.
So these are ABS 3mm laser etched door trims. These are a pretty good option for you if you're going to flood your car like Tyler.
Yeah. So these are like obviously waterproof.
So now I'm just going to take all the stuff off your old door trims and then put them onto here, and we've got some fresh trim clips in here.
The factory door trims are like a chipboard as well, and my mate got rid of his for the same reason, because once they got wet they rotted out. That's it, all rebuilt. Just got to do that 4 times.
That's right.
I'm sort of switching back and forth here everywhere, but Aiden's going to keep going with those door trims. Rick's got the 2 speakers in, they're all wired up, so start putting this door table on now. Comes with a set of instructions on how to install it all. The only special tool you need is you do need a rivet gun or riv nut gun. So they're starting to go in now, so they do line up with the factory holes, which makes it easy. You don't actually have to drill, so you just got to use your tool, squeeze them in there, and then that's will be what your bolts go into to hold the table on. So that's just going to be your door card matching one, and then yeah, that's where the actual table will go. That's the matching side in. Now we'll put the actual table in. It is pretty good that they give you both sides, that way you can match it up. The rest. That's that rear table all in. Pretty stoked of how that came out actually. That's really good. So it's got, you can obviously just use it a table like that as is, or it's got the section underneath that you unclip, fold out. It's got a leg there to support it. Then you've got much more room there. And having experience having one on the GU, I definitely reckon they're worth it. But yeah, that's sick. Keep going with the next thing. I don't know what's going on now. I think Aiden's starting to put all those door trims back in he built. So much going on, it's hard to keep up with everything. We're down into the front doors now, so we've got speakers to go in them and sound deadening them as well. So the sound deadening goes inside them, obviously, Aiden.
Yeah, so we got to fit. It's really difficult to fit everything in the hole. Chop the sheets down into quarters, and we can just put a few sheets in and fill up the door.
So it's the knockometer test again. So that's with sound deadening, with and without. So just doing the front door speakers now, but what happened? Wouldn't fit.
Yeah, so because of the support for the glass and the, I guess to a degree, the mechanism for the power windows, there's a slight depth issue, which is...
Yeah, so it wouldn't fit by what, 10 mil or something?
Yeah, exactly. So these factory speakers are really low profile. Like,
yeah, well, they're so thin.
Exactly. So not much of a magnet, which means there's not much of a motor compared to what we want to replace them with, which is quite a bit deeper.
Yeah.
So all we do is we basically just use these ring spacers, basically pop them in, and that takes care of the depth issue. And then as a bit of an added bonus, because there's a good chance these doors will end up underwater, we'll put these rubber gaskets in as well, so they'll sit inside that, which then will go into the doors, and then there's a foam backing for those as well, which just helps protect the speakers against water sloshing around in there.
So both the back door trims are on, 1, 2. Front door, the speakers are in. Still got to put the door trims on, but we're just pulling out this front head unit here now. How does it look behind there with the wiring and stuff?
It's taped.
It's a tape. So we'll peel back all that tape and see what see what's left. I'll be cutting that off and starting again.
The job just got harder. More time consuming.
More time consuming, yeah. Not harder, but...
So you're just connecting, like, you wrap them around, you've got obviously open ends on each one, wrap them around each other, solder, and then heat shrink and wrap them. If you get those adapters and no one's mucked it all up, then it's a pretty easy home job.
We'd be done by now.
Yeah, but outside of that, it gets a bit complicated and you need some, obviously some knowledge and skill.
That's it, so... One thing I will say that drives me nuts when I'm sort of watching other people do this on YouTube and stuff, when they're using heat shrink and I see them crack out a cigarette lighter. Like, oh man, pet hate.
While Rick's working on all that head unit and wiring, we're just unboxing some of this other stuff too. I don't know if we'll get to it today or maybe tomorrow. But yeah, new grille for the front end. We got new indicators and some new lights to go in it as well. Replace all this, which is pretty horrible. The GQ headlights are like candles and one of them doesn't even work. And yeah, this is just destroyed. It's all like cracked everywhere through the whole thing. So I'll start pulling this front end apart a little bit, get that old grill out, old lights, all the indicators and everything out. Probably have to loosen that bar to get the grill out, but might just pull that bar off next weekend, starting the bar work build. So the car's pretty much going straight from here to bar work build, so it's not really going to have, it's not going to be doing any full driving or any driving at all really, till I get the new bar work on. Grill's off, bull bar's off, lights coming out. Have new lights there to go in, which I'm pretty keen to get them in. Are they the cool Instagram famous RGB colour ones?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what you want. So they're an LED driving light, the relentless pursuit of perfection. Perfect. These are a eBay special one, aren't they?
Correct.
Yeah.
But the last.
Yeah.
These ones are the ones that they seem to last. So.
Yeah, as agencies tried a few different types, and they're only like a couple $100 something, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like on old cars, a lot of these bolts are all rusted, so you got to be careful getting everything off. It's all blinged up now. So how does it work? They're different colours, and is it controlled through an app on your phone or something?
A Bluetooth app, and you can just change the colour of the DRL.
Of the ring.
Of the ring.
Around the edge.
halo ring, yeah. Only off-road, legally.
Yeah, okay, so not allowed to use that feature on road.
No. You are allowed them in Bunnings.
Yeah,
You are
okay.
allowed to do that in Bunnings car parks.
Yeah, that's Bunnings car park's got its own special
Yeah.
rules.
Oh, but you have to have P plate.
Yeah. Head unit's all wired up, working and installed by the looks of it there. So that's your Apple CarPlay you got on now.
Once we get the door cards on, we'll turn the front speakers on. Still got to wire up the tweeters once we get the door cards mounted.
Yeah.
And then the next thing I'm going to do is pull an 8 gauge wire from the battery through to the back to power the sub. Yep.
We were talking about doing it under the seats, but it's a water hazard. So we're going to do it up higher, up the back there somewhere.
Yeah, the subs are, they're hideaway subs, so they're designed to go under the seats, but yeah, you're right. If you drown it, then yeah, you're going to drown the sub too, so we'll put it up somewhere high. 8 gauge feed from the battery basically sits in the well with the rest of the loom.
Yep.
And we'll tuck that under the trim, send that all the way to the back, and that'll get you plus 12 volts in the sub.
Instagram influencer lights.
Alright, I officially have no association with this project anymore.
So I just need to get some matching RGB rock lights, and then I'll have a full party bus.
You
It'll
can,
be a GQ party bus.
Yeah.
you can have your own Bunnings adventures.
Yeah. Ooh. Looks pretty good with the grill coming on.
I reckon.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll look pretty awesome, I reckon. The headlights and the chrome grille mixture.
So the grill came from Patrol apart, wasn't it?
Yep.
And this is a Series 1 grill?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a Series 2 GQ, but that's a Series 1 grill. Actually, you have them up on the roof there, so... Yeah, so that's the Series 2 on the left, and that's the Series 1 on the right. So the Series 1 came with that big Nissan badge, and the Series 2 came with that smaller one there, but I just preferred the style of the Series 1 to go on mine. So there is an app on your phone where you can control the lights from, so yeah, when you're on the road, just keep it on the white ones, because that's legal, because you can't have multicolours on the road, and then yeah, when you want to change them up, you can do all the different colour combos. Sunday morning, back again, third and final day of doing this. Got to try and get the rest finished today that we had planned because I got to go home this afternoon. But yeah, I ended up finishing up last night. I got a couple more things done, so got this new bonnet weather shield on. Sound system's all pretty much wired up now, so got the sub and kicker in there too. I was just going to have to find a spot for it once we get the seats and floor and everything back in, a proper spot to mount it. First thing we're doing today is still trying to finish off these front door trims, just trying to make all that work with the new speakers and tweeters and stuff. I've also got to mount the UHF, so I've just gone with the Oricom one again. That's the one I've been running in my four-wheel drives for, I don't know, the last 5 years now, and it's always worked well for me. So it's the DTX 4200X, so it's a dual receive one, which I really like because it means you can be on one channel talking to, you know, your group or whoever you're with, and then you can have the other channel on scan listening to other groups in the area. So I really like that one for that reason. And it's one of your ones where it's all controlled on the handpiece, so your volume and channel change and everything as well, which I like. So you just got to mount the control box out of the way really anywhere. And then obviously the antenna to go with it as well. This is an interchangeable one, so it's got your 3 dBi for, you know, more your mountains, which gives you higher range but less distance. And it's got a 6.5 dBi extension that you screw on the top of it, which gives you that not as high a range but much longer range, so, you know, better when you're out in the desert or out in the outback or something. I'm not going to put the antenna on yet because I've got to wait till I get the bull bar where we can actually mount it. But we will mount the control box and the handpiece and everything, get all power to that, so that way the antenna is just a simple plug in when we get to that point. But yeah, better get to it because got a fair bit to do today, I reckon. So you're just doing a bit of a general tidy up of things, Rick?
Yep, so I'm basically just putting some split tubing on this main power feed that goes to the back for the power sub. I just ran the your mic for your
oh yeah, for
Bluetooth for phone calls.
Everything's tidied up and cleaned up on the inside there. So we're going to bring the vinyl flooring in now and start putting that in. And then you've managed to find a spot to squeeze the UHF in and out of the way there.
Thankfully, the air handler behind the dash has a nice flat spot where effectively we're going to use some 3M dual lock. I reckon 99% of the UHFs out there are probably held in with cable ties or worse. But
yeah, all my other four drives that zippy tied in somewhere.
Yeah,
so what is that stuff?
So it's like industrial strength Velcro.
Yeah. Okay.
So the 3M adhesive is pretty brutal. Once you stick that on, it's not coming off. Not easily anyway.
And then that's in out of the way. We put power to that, and then we can plug the mic in for it somewhere.
Power's already ran. It's on accessories. So yeah, good to go.
Maybe I should ring TJ up and ask him where to mount it. He'd just straight over there in the middle somewhere. I don't know, what did he use? I think he just nailed it in, hammer and nails into the dash there somewhere.
That was hard to watch.
The old brake controller was just there, so we just pulled that out and gonna mount the UHF in that spot there. Use the same hole, save drilling more holes, and that's a good spot to put it as well.
It's good to go.
How come when we chillin' everything will feel the same? Feel the same. I just gotta know. How come when I pull up I'm like, here we go again. Go again. That's why I just gotta know why we ain't been different. Why I feel the same every time we kick it. We just can't get with it. Ain't no fixing. Here we go again with another lie that's told in vain. Avoid the pain even though we need to say goodbye. I feel the same. So codependent, this hurting been open-ended.
The old zippy tie the number plate on trick.
The wound is open, let it be, you let it be. Love it and set it free. But the end of you and me, I thought this new to me. But I just gotta know. How come when we chillin' everything it feel the same? Feel the same. I just gotta know.
That's all the flooring back in pretty much, so now we can start mounting things on top of it and getting it all nice and neat. So in the boot here, I've just left the carpet for the moment because I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to do in the boot area, so I'm still working that out. Because the potential plan is to chop this car at some point. We were going to chop it like in the early days of getting it, but we've just decided to hold off, build it as a wagon somewhat, and then drive it as a wagon for a while, then see how we go. We may, you know, potentially chop it in about a year's time or something, but I figured that way we'd get to enjoy the best of both worlds rather than just chopping it up straight away, and good for me for content as well. So that was one of the reasons I wasn't going too crazy down the back here and getting all, you know, fresh interior for the back too, but I don't know, maybe I should just get something there as well. It's up higher, so I probably could do, say, carpet there and not have that issue of getting as wet, but yeah, still figuring that out. But start putting these seats in and center console and all those bits.
I just know it's time to call it, I just gotta know. Can you tell me what the deal? I'ma go ahead and tell you how I feel. I just gotta know, can we keep it real? Lately I'm losing myself.
While those seats are going in, I'll start pulling out my new seat covers. I'm pretty excited about these ones. So these are Razorback, which are the same as what I got in the GQ Patrol. So these are custom made for the car to fit the specific seats, which I really like. In the past, I used to just get your cheaper generic ones, but they're always like horrendous fit and just always falling off and all over the place. But these are mainly just to protect your seats, keep mud, sand, water off them, all those sorts of things when you're jumping in and out of the car. But I'm pretty excited about these ones because this time I've actually got custom embroidery on them. Got my full logo on them there, so that's pretty cool. So they can pretty much stitch any designs and patterns you want onto the actual seat covers. Back seats are in, so I'll start putting those seat covers on the back ones, and then we'll do the front ones after, obviously.
They are nice, aren't they? Like, they feel so good.
Those back ones look so good. I'm super stoked for these seat covers. I'll just fit the front ones now on the seats while they're out of the car, then when I bolt them in, they'll be all done. Front seats are ready to put back in, but we just remembered we got these to go in as well. So I got passenger and driver fire extinguisher bracket holders. So these are from Kap Industries. And yeah, I got these in the GU and they're awesome. So that way you got a fire extinguisher. In the GU, I only put them at the passenger feet, but I figured I'll put them at the driver and passenger fire extinguisher each side. So these just bolt in with the seat as it goes in, and then your fire extinguisher bolts in on those two there. So they're super easy and yeah, perfect place to put them. So just remember to whack them in too at the same time. That's those fire extinguisher brackets in there. That's the passenger one. They're very simple, but they do the perfect job. So I just got to get the fire extinguishers to go on them. I do have one at home, but I'll have to buy a second one. And these seat covers have a back pocket there as well, which I always find really handy to put stuff in. So we're just bolting the last one in now. Sub has been mounted down the back there. So where it is raised maybe 100 mil or something from the floor. So it should be up out of the water there, but if I'm getting concerned, then it's strapped down, so I can just unstrap it and move it if for whatever reason I'm going through deep water and I'm worried about it. But if I get water up that high, then I'm probably going to have a fair few other concerns going on too. But it's just about all back together, and then we can take it outside and get a few good shots of it all. Very quickly, while I'm standing here filming this video, we have finally got an item that people have been asking us for a long time. We have patches, Tyler Thompson patches worn by model Zeph. Grab that off Zeph. So they're available on our website now if you want them. Velcro patches, I know people like to collect them. You want them? We got them. Boom, 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 boom. Alrighty, back to present day. That's all the modifications that we got done there at One Stop 4x4 shop with the boys over those 3 days. Super stoked with how it's all come out and coming together. Hopefully that sun's not too bright there. I'll show these fire extinguishers because I've just mounted them as well. one there at the passenger feet, so it's mounted onto the bracket there that the Kap Industries provide. It's just a simple boom, unclip, tear it out, and you're ready to go. Same over there under the driver's feet as well. So I've only got the one in the GU, the TB, but in these TD42 kettles you get as many fire extinguishers in as you can, because you never know when these things are going to catch fire. Haven't done anything with that interior of the boot yet, but I'm not too worried. I'm probably going to put a set of drawers over the top of that old carpet anyway. I know I mentioned in the video, but we are just decided we are going to keep it as a wagon for a while and send it as is rather than chopping it up straight away, and then yeah, probably chop it down the line. But that'll be, you know, be cool, because that'll be a whole nother build series and content. We've been super busy modifying this car, got lots going on in the process and still coming as well. Should be plenty of awesome build videos coming up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Boy, bit of a sneak peek there of what's coming up in some future vids. Keep it casual. Don't know. I'll just say that yeah, we're another GQ build episode down here at One Stop. What is it? One Stop Shop 4x4. I don't know. Do you want to do like a quick thing of like what you pick the best ones later in editing? All right. Start again. All right, I'm pretty excited down here at One Stop. What is it? I forget. One Stop Shop 4x4. So it shouldn't matter not having a bar work. Not having. So I shouldn't have an. Boom, boom, boom. Alrighty, back to present day. That's all the modifications that we've done there.